Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. I thought what we would do is have a look at the changelogs that have been happening over the last week, because there was a huge gap basically since Christmas until now when they started doing some more changelogs. Before Christmas it was crazy because the update came out and they were trying to fix or get right stuff like the Eurofighter and the Rafale, and then they took a bunch of time off, obviously because of the festive period, and now we're back again with a bunch of stuff trying to fix a ton of bugs that have been put in since the last update. So I thought in this video we'll go through them, we'll see what's going on, and as always go through them. If you enjoy the content, make sure to subscribe. Let's get started. The first update was update 2.43.0.50, and the first change they made was for the Kfir C10, which of course is the event vehicle that came in. They basically made it so the maximum weapons load was increased to 5.5 tons, which I'm pretty sure means you can run anything with anything now, because even with a full bomb load of 5,000 pounds, you are able to get under that with all the missiles in tow too. So now you don't just have to use it as an air-to-air machine, you can actually use it as a cast machine too, which is quite nice. Then the F-15 RAM, the inability to enable the infrared vision mode for the AGM-65D missiles has been fixed, so therefore you are able to do what you want, which is great. The MiG-21 Bison and also the Su-39, there was a bug that caused the Copier 21 and 25 radars respectively to be unable to successfully acquire targets in certain conditions from scan modes has been fixed. They just didn't work. Always fun when that happens. There was also a bug that sometimes caused bombs not to explode after impacting water, and that's been fixed. There are still some ground maps, by the way, where they have like a layer of water under them. Stuff like the Advance the Rhine, I remember, was one which was very prevalent, but also some other ones like Abandoned Factory, where you would, drop bombs, and then what would happen is a splash of water would come up from the ground, because technically there's water under the ground and it's being affected by the bomb. Always thought that was a little bit weird. Graphics-wise, there was a bug where grass could flicker when using DX12. That's been fixed, which is good. I'm still waiting to see what happens with DX12. It definitely makes the game look better, but the game does not run smooth at all on it, or at least it didn't when I was playing it. I turned it off a while ago, but I would love to give it a go again. I just need to know if it's going to relax, and it's going to just, actually work and I can get a stable frame rate on it. Because I was getting some crazy FPS dips where it would just stutter as it went along, and of course in a game like War Thunder, that is not something that's tenable. In the interface wise, there was a bug that caused free reward levels on the battle pass to unlock within a delay. So sometimes only after restarting the game would they get unlocked, which obviously isn't great. That's not something you really want. Sometimes with the battle pass for me, it would tell me I had completed challenges, and then I would click to complete them to get the levels, but then it would constantly tell me I have completed challenges again. But it wasn't a huge deal, it didn't really matter. Also, there was a naming error in one of the missile test missions that's been fixed, which is good. There was also a bug that caused the camera to switch when toggling to the same view in aircraft. For example, in simulator battles, when activating the toggle view control, if the only available view is from the cockpit, or just trying to switch the current view in any game mode, that's been fixed too. And there was a bug that sometimes caused the game to crash when switching to sensor view in replays, and that's been fixed too. The sensor view is still one of the coolest things they added last year. One of those I feel like gets kind of forgotten about, but it really did add something absolutely amazing to it. And then there was a server update on the 17th of January. This one basically focused a lot on higher echelon machines, but the first one was actually the J7W1. Surprisingly, the engine characteristics and the effect of the airspeed pressure at the altitude limit have been brought to the parameters of a similar engine, which was found on the A7M2. The max speed has been set 740 at 9,200 meters at 100 thrust, and weight has been adjusted, and an issue that caused the landing gear elements to be visible through the wings in turns has been fixed. So good old J7W1 still causing issues to this day. A very, very odd vehicle, and one that, to be honest, I didn't really enjoy flying, but I have seen people do some wonderful things in it, which is always nice. With the Rafale CF3, there was a few changes too. The turn speed has been adjusted according to available video materials. Wow, so that's interesting. So by approximately plus 0.5 to 0.7 G per second. So video materials, wow, that's where we're at, are we? Okay then, that is. I remember back in the day when it came to video stuff, the reason why they couldn't be used for, you know, stuff such as bug reporting and things like that is because, of course, the videos themselves could be doctored. But well, c'est la vie. Here we are, I suppose. Times have changed. The Rafale also, the landing roll has been reduced on it, which is pretty cool. And then the Eurofighters, all of them, the RWR band coverage range has been extended to include the K-band. So they're even more effective now. The F-15 all variants, there's a bug that caused the amount of specific types of countermeasures to show up on the MFD weaponry screen as the maximum possible amount instead of 0, if the player had taken 0 countermeasures of this type into the battle. And the Su-27 and other aircraft with the ILS-31 hood, there was an indication of the radar working in HDN mode that has been added to the hood. And also the Su-27 SM and all other aircraft with the ILS-31 hood, there was a bug that caused all targets to show up in the hood as selected ones in TWS mode, and that has been fixed too. It's amazing how much effort they're putting into the hood stuff. My real question when it comes to these things is, when are they going to start making some cockpits clickable? Because then we can stop talking about DCS. And at least for me, I think that would be fantastic. The amount of effort the Gadget team has put into high-tier aviation and modeling it as accurately as possible, especially from a first-person point of view, is insane when you think about it. Then, update 2.43.0.60. First of all, ground vehicles. A bug where the mechanics of volumetric shells did not work in battle has been fixed. Wow. This has led to some impossible penetrations in battle and some discrepancies in shell behavior from hits in battle and from the in-hangar analysis tool. Right, so the main way you do damage to enemies had bugs in it. How can you ever trust when you fire the gun? Jesus. Well, at least whatever it was has been fixed, and hopefully it stays fixed. Also, interface-wise, a bug where the squad marker did not work in custom battles has been fixed too, so that's very positive. There was also various improvements that have been made to the stability of the game in the DX12 driver, so maybe it might be worth giving it a go again. There was also a bug where camouflages viewed in the vehicle customization window remained selected, but would no longer be displayed after going to the market or wiki and then returning. That has been fixed too, which is good to see. So overall, some positive changes there. And then the last one, which came out today, update 2.43.0.63, the one just before the Battle Pass coming in. For aircraft, there was a bug that caused the condensation effects at speeds near the speed of sound to be shifted forward, causing it to be in the cockpit. That's been fixed, which is quite interesting. There was also a bug where the HMD interface could be displayed during the camera rotations. That's been fixed too, so that's nice. Incorrect collision of the third-person camera with objects above it has been fixed too. For example, it passed through the ceiling when flying through tunnels. And there was also a bug where the image of the minimap outside the playing area was stretched on the MFD, and that's been fixed too. So all very positive. Ground vehicles-wise, the T-34 all variants, there was a bug that caused fragments to not form when the armor was penetrated at the joint of the armor plates at the upper glacis, and that has been fixed. So straight up, you just wouldn't do damage to T-34s. Nice. Well, now you should be able to do damage to them, so that's really good. Obviously quite nice, especially when you're hitting the joints. And couple that with the volumetric bug that also existed. What a fun time to face them. Then interface-wise, there was a bug where the range markers in the scope were stretched vertically when zoomed. That's been fixed. That's kind of odd. There was also a bug where the on and off setting of the reticle parameters sections in the sight settings menu did not apply to the text size setting, and that has been fixed. There was also a bug where the ready to fire indicator in the sight settings menu would blink when firing autocannons, and that's been fixed too. My custom sights just keep breaking. I don't know why they keep breaking. They keep disappearing, or they keep making it so I can't actually put them on vehicles and I have to recreate them again. Don't know if that's going to be fixed. It would be nice if it was. For graphics-wise, there was a bug where some areas around the player's ship were too dark. That's been fixed. And a bug where the suspension element of destroyed vehicles would twitch when the terrain near them was driven over, which has been fixed too. There was also a bug where the picture could flicker when switching views if ultra-low quality was enabled. That's been fixed too. And a bug where terrain shadows on the water look too harsh. So that's been fixed. So a bunch of nice graphical effects. The main one, as I said, that matters is the DX12 stuff though, so we'll see how that goes. There was also a bug that caused a constant sound of flaps extending to play when attempting to extend them at flying at speeds that did not allow them to be extended. That's been fixed. I actually heard that while playing stuff like the Meteor, for example. But the interesting thing about the whole did not allow them to be extended, the thing is, like, technically you could extend them in the past. Now the game just kind of stops you. But yeah, you can't get that little advantage anymore. There was also a bug where the sound of jet engine nozzles moving would play intermittently in replays, and that's been fixed too. So you just hear the clicking that's going on. Well, it's nice that they fixed those. Well done, Soundman, getting some good stuff done. So that's all the changelogs of the last week. I'm sure we're going to get more as we go forward. But of course, the big news of this week is the Battle Pass that is coming out tomorrow alongside, hopefully, a very good Warbond shop, because right now, it's not looking exactly great. As always, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank GMG Smiley, CD Beans, Chieftain Mike, EMN3 Galaxy, Tulio Pontecorvo, Brendan Quinn, Carrion Crow, Gus Irenicus, Pyman, Wartinder, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, Martinez, B. Young, Ozzy Panzer, Alan Hacker, Liam Shear, Opium Prime, Lafouche, Sem, Aslan, Uncle Bean, and Derek R. for supporting the channel.